everyone, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to our channel. Happy Easter. I am filming this on Sunday, and I have Samantha. This is my white body Samantha, my 1980 something Samantha. She does have her hair cut, so her hair, someone cut it years ago, but that's okay. White body Samantha for under $100. I was not going to complain since Samantha's my baby. But I wanted to highlight my white body Samantha for you all, just to show you. She is, if I can get her dress up a little, so you can see the original white body. When I got her, she was all stained up. I took all her stuffing out per Doll Rescue. Yes, Doll Rescue. She's the lady that I watch a lot. The dress is not original to her. I got her naked, so this is all kind of stuff that I have purchased. Trying to find a Samantha dress that is Pleasant Company made in Germany, and I don't think this one is. I take that back. This one was made in West Germany. You guys, I'm sorry about it. Okay, so and you can see it's got the Pleasant Company. It's got the Velcro on the sleeves. Like I said, she is my pride and joy. She stays on her stand, and I've fixed her up a little bit. I do need to do some more, like give her a nice spa day, nice washing. Her arm has, unfortunately, I think with all my moving her around, has come out of her socket. Let me take her off her stand. So I'm going to have to redo her arm. And take her out of her dress a minute here, guys. So her arm, this just happened. That's so sad. Miss Samantha. We'll have to figure this out. I'm going to have to get, I think, a new ball joint thing. Does anyone know? And I will not send her to the doll hospital, because then I won't get back her original. But you can see her body does have stains on it. She was a very loved and played with doll, which makes me happy to have her in my collection. I did I did not want to put a zip tie on her, so this is just a regular shoelace that I tied her up with. But I'm going to have to look and see, maybe check out Doll Rescue. She is such a, I love her channel. See how to get that arm put back on. I might have to get a ball joint thing. Anyways, the reason I'm on with Samantha, and I have my long hair today, is I'm so sorry, guys. For those of you who've been following my Meet Samantha story, and I haven't been very good about it recently, and we're on the last chapter, which is really bad. I wanted to go ahead and let me put this in here. I wanted to go ahead and get that last chapter read, and so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to read the last chapter, and Samantha Learns a Lesson, which is, not Samantha Learns a Lesson, Meet Samantha, which is her first book. Hold on one second, guys. Let me go ahead and get her all done up. And I will keep you updated on that arm. I did not know that her arm had fallen out like that. So, okay. So I'm going to kind of, I don't want her, I'm going to just kind of, and also too, like, she's missing some lashes. She's not, like I said, she is a white body, but she's got some things going on. And now we have an arm issue. So I'm going to have to take care of that. So, and I will. We will get that all. Samantha, we will get you all fixed up. So in the meantime, that looks really bad, doesn't it? Does that look horrible? Let me kind of do her this way, so you guys. She's still in the video, but you won't get freaked out about her arm. I'm so sorry, girl. I am. There we go. There we go. Okay, so one more thing before we get started in the book. I found this coat. I'm so excited. It is, it is a size 12 for a child, so it's too small for me, but it is Samantha's winter coat. It's got the purple velvet. It's got the snaps. It needs some cleaning, but I was so excited when I found it. I was thinking, which this is funny, I got this for Sabrina when she was going to do the Mary Poppins play, because it's the same time period. I took it to the director, and the director said, oh, no, that's all wrong. So I said, okay, fine. But anyway, so I did get Samantha's coat. I'm so excited in my size. Well, not my size, but people size, not doll size. So let's go ahead, just to kind of catch you guys up. So Samantha is living with Grandmary. She's kind of a tomboy. Jesse's the little boy next door who likes to, he teases her, and he's but she doesn't put up with it. Uncle Guard is going to marry Cornelia, and they live in the city, and they've got a motor car, which Grandmary just does not like at all. Samantha does befriend the little girl next door, who is the maid for the neighbors. Excuse me. Her name is Nellie. She's an Irish immigrant, and they become friends. And Samantha, and like I said, Samantha and Nellie become very good friends. And Grandmary's seamstress, I think that's what she is, Jessie, leaves suddenly, and Samantha is very worried about her. Why did she leave? No one will tell her why she left or where she went, and she's just very upset about that. So they went ahead, and her and Nellie schemed to leave the house. Oh, my mistake. It's not Jessie. The little boy is Eddie Ryland next door, and Nellie is Eddie Ryland's maid that they become she becomes best friends with. Well, they make a pact. Her and Nellie and Samantha make a pact to sneak out one night and go find Jessie. And when they do, they find out why Jessie left. Jessie ended up, she had a baby, and so she had to stay home. So that's why Jessie left Grandmary's and was no longer working, so she could stay home with the baby. And yeah, so that's where we left off, was Samantha getting into her bed, taking off her, her dress and her stockings, and getting into bed and not getting caught for creeping out in the middle of the night to go see Jessie. So our very last chapter is chapter 6, and it's called A Fine Young Lady. 2 days later, Samantha tugged on the string of her tin can telephone. She and Nellie had tied bells to both ends of the telephone so that they could signal one another when they wanted to talk. But today, Nellie didn't answer. Samantha tugged again, but still there was no answer. She crawled through the tunnel. There was no sign of Nellie. Instead, Eddie Ryland stood there pulling gum out of his mouth in long strings and stuffing it back in again. Ew. I know something you don't know, Eddie said. He looked pleased with himself, and that worried Samantha. She waited. Nellie is going away, Eddie said. Samantha felt as though she had been hit. What are you talking about, Eddie? Our driver's taking her back to the city. She's sick, and my mother says she's not strong enough to work. She's waiting in the kitchen. Mother says next time we'll get an immigrant woman who can last longer. Samantha wanted more than anything to punch Eddie in the nose, but she knew she couldn't. She knew that even if she were a boy, she couldn't punch Eddie in the nose. Certainly, a grown-up person would not punch Eddie in the nose. A grown-up person probably would not have reached out and shoved Eddie's chewing gum into his hair either. But Samantha did. After all, she was only 9, and that was only half grown up. Then she rushed to her friend, leaving Eddie howling and trying to pull the sticky mess out of his curls. In the Rylands' kitchen, Nellie sat on a wooden chair, swinging her legs and staring at her belongings. They were tied in a shawl at her feet. Nellie, are you sick? Samantha asked. Nellie looked up. No, I'm not sick. But I still cough sometimes. Mrs. Ryland's afraid I'll get sick and be a bother, so she's sending me back. But Nellie, will you have to go to work in the factory again? You'll get sick if you go back, and what will I do without you? Nellie had started to cry. It'll be all right, Samantha. Really, it will. Only I'll miss you so much. Samantha couldn't stand to see Nellie crying. Wait a minute, I'll be right back, she said. She dashed across the yard and into her own kitchen. "Miss Hawkins!" Samantha cried breathlessly. "Miss Hawkins, they're sending Nellie away, and her family doesn't have enough food. We have to give them something." Miss Hawkins would have been quick to help, even without Samantha begging. In a few minutes she had packed a basket with pie and fruit, and some food in tin cans and a ham. Samantha ran back to the Rylands' kitchen carrying the basket and something else. She put the basket at Nellie's feet. Then she placed Lydia in her arms. Remember, Lydia's her doll that she wanted that was in the window of the store. "Here, Nellie, you take Lydia," Samantha said. "She'll be your friend." Samantha hugged Nellie and stayed with her until the Rylands driver came. Later that afternoon, Uncle Gard and Cornelia were having tea with Grandmary. Samantha was there. Samantha was there too, but she was not playing and laughing with Uncle Gard. She was sitting in her chair working on her sampler, because even that was better than talking to grown-ups. Samantha was feeling very angry with grown-ups. Grown-ups took her friends away and never even told her why. So she sat and stabbed the needle in her sampler, and everyone wondered why Samantha was in such a bad mood. Then suddenly, even before she knew she was going to, Samantha blurted out, "I know why Jessie left." Grandmary looked around, surprised. "You do?" "Yes, she has a baby," Samantha said. And here's a picture of Nellie and Samantha giving her Lydia. Now Grandmary was really surprised. "How do you know that?" she asked. "Nellie and I went to her house at night, and we saw." Samantha was sure Grandmary would punish her now, but Grandmary looked more troubled than angry. "You were very wrong to do that, Samantha," she said. "Well, we were very wrong not to tell me," Samantha answered. She was not feeling very respectful. Grandmary took in her breath sharply. She looked at Uncle Gard and Cornelia for help, but they said nothing. Grandmary put her teacup down and nodded slowly. "Yes, Samantha, I think you are right. I should have told you," she said. The room was very quiet. Samantha felt pleased and relieved. "Well, can Jessie come back?" she asked. "Now, Samantha, you know she has to take care of the baby." "But she could bring him with her," said Samantha. "He wouldn't bother anybody." Grandmary looked thoughtful. "Well, I hadn't thought about that. But I suppose if Jessie wants to, and Mrs. Hawkins doesn't object," as if anyone could possibly imagine Miss Hawkins objecting to Nathaniel. "Oh, thank you, Grandmary," Samantha almost shouted, but Grandmary wasn't used to making mistakes, and she was feeling embarrassed. She changed the subject. "You don't have your doll today, Samantha. Are you tired of her already?" Samantha looked down and felt her face turn hot. No, I lost her." "You lost her?" Grandmary was upset. "My dear Samantha, how are you ever going to grow into a proper young lady? I try to give you a sense of value, and you—" "I think Sam's sense of value is just fine, Mother," Uncle Gard interrupted quietly. "She gave the doll to Nellie. Miss Hawkins told me." Grandmary stopped short. She looked at Uncle Gard, then she looked at Samantha. Then she nodded slowly. "Yes," she said. "Yes, I think. Samantha's sense of value is just fine indeed." Samantha ran to her grandmother. "Grandmary, we've got to help Nellie's family. They don't have enough food, and they don't have enough coal. Can we help them, please?" Grandmary's eyebrows went up, and then she threw back her head and laughed. "Yes, Samantha, yes. I guess if you care enough to give up your finest treasure, then we can find a way to help Nellie's family." She gave Samantha a proud smile. "You really are quite a fine young lady, Samantha Parkington," she said as she opened her arms to fold Samantha in a hug as warm as summer sunshine. And here's a copy of her little sampler that she'd been working on. Now, in the back of the books, they showed a look into the past, like a peek into what was going on. So looking back in 1904, if we go and we look here, and they've got pictures. Come on. So, come on, my page doesn't want to turn. Okay, so in 1904, looking back, it says, look at the clothes, rooms, and food on this page and peek into the stylish, proper world Samantha grew up in. People like Grandmary lived in large, comfortable houses. They ate their meals in elegant dining rooms. They visited with their guests in fancy parlors where children were often not allowed at all. When children did join the adults in the parlor, proper behavior was expected. Children like Samantha would curtsy and say, "How do you do?" They would speak only when an adult spoke to them first. So here you can see pictures. I hope you guys can see it. So this would have been kind of like the house that Samantha would have lived in. And then stockings, no supporters, no wrinkles. In 1904, proper young ladies like Samantha wore dressings, covered with frilly aprons, high-buttoned shoes, and long stockings held up with garters, even when they were playing. They couldn't climb trees in a pair of jeans like kids today do. In fact, it really wasn't very proper for young ladies like Samantha to climb trees at all. Imagine sitting down to the table for dinner. You would eat soup, fish, 2 kinds of meat, potatoes, vegetables, and several desserts. Your meal might last for 3 hours. It would have taken nearly all day to prepare. The elegance and comforts of proper life in 1904 were possible because there were so many servants. So you gotta remember, back in that first chapter, they talked about the different servants they had. The servants to do the work. A cook, like Miss Hawkins, spent nearly all day making meals for her family. She had to make just about every dish from scratch. Since there was no refrigerators or freezers, and there was very little prepared food like Jell-O or canned soup. A maid like Elsa scrubbed the floors and cleaned the sooty gas lamps that lighted a proper home. A manservant like Hawkins tended the vegetable garden in summer and the furnace in winter. He also took care of the horse and fancy carriage that people like Grandmary used instead of a car. The lives of the servants were not very comfortable or elegant. Servants worked long days for little money. Their work was hard because they did not have many of the modern conveniences we have today. Kitchens were usually very hot because stoves had to be kept full of glowing coals even in the hottest summer days. Without vacuum cleaners, maids had to hang heavy carpets on clotheslines and pound them with rug beaters. Servants who did the laundry didn't have washing machines or dryers. They had to iron the fancy tablecloths, frilly petticoats, and stiff linen sheets with irons they heated on hot stoves. I don't know if I still have it, and if I do and I can find it, I will. My grandmother used to have it just sitting in her home, and I don't know if it was something that she just had from when she was younger, but it was an iron shaped, like an iron, but it was just a big, like, metal. It's heavy, and that's what they would use. They would heat that up to iron, and that would be hard. I mean, think about it. We really don't iron too much today, but I remember ironing back in the day and spraying starch on it to get it to, do really fast, to get the wrinkles out fast, or spraying water to get, like kind of with steam. Well, they, think that was the iron did a lot of the work. In this case, they did most of the work. That iron is heavy. If I find, because it was made of iron, it's an iron. Let's see. Servants were expected to do this work without complaint and to keep their proper place separate from the family they worked for. They ate in the kitchen after the family's meal in the dining room was over. They often lived in small rooms in the attic or above the carriage house. They were not supposed to play with the children or visit with the parents. Even though a servant's life was a hard one, there were plenty of people willing to do these jobs. In 1904, many of the people living in American cities were poor. They would do any kind of work just to help their family survive. So here's a picture. You can kind of see how the servants would have dressed in long aprons. And then over here it shows the servant with, like wringing the clothes through. She was lucky she had one of these for a washing type machine. My desk cover's fallen off. You guys know this is my Pride and Joy book. The hard copy one. They often worked in factories for long hours and little pay. Children like Nellie went to work to help their families earn money. Young ladies like Samantha did not work. Drying dishes or making a bed was not considered a proper thing for them to do. In fact, Grandmary would not have expected Samantha to ever work, even as an adult. But modern women like Cornelia had different ideas. They believed that women should do much more than run elegant, comfortable households. In 1904, many young women went to college or studied to become teachers and nurses. They learned to use new office machines like the typewriter. They wanted to help the people who lived in city slums. They wanted to be sure that poor children went to school instead of working. They wanted women to be able to vote. While the rules about that was proper, the rules about what was proper were changing. America was changing in other ways too. Cities were getting bigger and buildings were getting taller. Automobiles were taking the place of horses. Light bulbs are being used instead of gas lamps. Electric irons, vacuum cleaners, and stoves are beginning to make a servant's work easier. To grow up in such a changing world was often confusing, but it was always exciting. So here we show a servant family or a poor family that may have worked in the factories. Up here we have the women, the fancy women in their automobiles. And here's the women, they call it the women's suffrage, so marching for the rights for women to vote. And that's what was going on in 1904. So guys, we finished our Meet Samantha. Now I had a request for a book to read next. And I'm pretty sure I have it because I said I would do it. So I will look, and if I have it, we will start. Whose book are we going to start? Oh, can't remember now. I know her name. She's a Girl of the Year. Lainey. We're going to read Lainey's book. If I have Meet Lainey, we will read Lainey's book next. But I have some exciting news. I have a Meet Samantha American Girl doll, book 1. And this is, I would like to gift this book to one of you who so stayed with me through the readings of Samantha. You stayed with me through the readings of Molly's Be Forever book, first Be Forever book. And you guys know me, I enjoy the books tremendously. So here's what you have to do. I'm going to keep this open till the end. Let's see, today's Sunday, Easter Sunday. We'll keep it open for, let's say, in just basically a week. We're going to keep it open in a week. So next Sunday, we will announce the winner of the Meet Samantha. Depending on how many people are interested, I will either, one, just put names in a hat and pull them out like we've done in the past, or I will figure out how to do that sorting thingy-majingy. It's on the computer, and it sorts, and it picks, anyways, the picker thingy. So here's what we're going to do. On the community tab, I'm going to put a picture of this book. In the community tab, on the comments, this is how I know that you've been a supporter of us for a while. Tell me, how many Samantha dolls do I have? So for everyone that tells me how many Samantha dolls I have, your name will go into, like I said, the drawing for the book. You must be 18 years or older, because I am going to, well, no, let's not say that. You must have permission from mom and dad, or of course be 18 years older, because I will need your address to send you the book. I'm also going to make this available to anyone overseas, because you guys have been supporting me too. So this is open to everyone, all our subscribers. Go ahead, go on the comment tab. Like I said, I'm going to put this on the comment tab. Let me know how many Samantha dolls I have. And like I said, if you've been watching our channel for a while, and you've been watching our videos, you should, because I've said it before, Samantha's my favorite. So so that's easy. Those are the rules. So for 1 week, from this Sunday to next Sunday, I will put your name on, put this on the community tab. I'm going to give away this book next Sunday, and if I have Lainey's book, like I said, I had a request for that. We will start Lainey's book next Sunday. So guys, thank you so much for everything. You're wonderful. Last time I looked, we were at 449 followers. We're so close to that 450 and so close to 500. I really, like I said, I should show, no, I don't want to show you. It's a surprise what I plan to give away in the end of June if we hit that 500. So guys, like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the flip side. Bye everybody.